Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh, I missed you all so much. I haven't seen you since Tuesday. It's been so long. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Turn that off. That's so rude. How you guys doing? Hi, Mary. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Diane, Anita, Sarah, Vivian. It's so good to see everybody. Janet's here. Colleen, of course, is in the house, and Pam. Give Facebook just a second to catch up with us. They'll be here soon. Hi. At least I hope so. Oh, there we go. Brenda's here. So I know Facebook is connected. I had to reconnect everything this morning here in StreamYard. So I was a little concerned. It took Facebook a little bit longer today to catch up. But hi, everybody. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Carla. Hi, Maggie. How are you guys? Have you guys had a good week so far? We've only got a few more hours left, right? I mean, 5 o'clock will be here before you know it. It's 1 o'clock here on the East Coast. So I don't know about you, but I'm kind of counting it down. This week has been nonstop for me, and I kind of just need I need a minute. I also just set my robot vacuum out there. His name is Jeeves. I turned on Jeeves right before I hit the live button so that he can help me kind of do some of the things. I honestly wish that he did more than just vacuum, because there are dishes in the sink and the dishwasher needs to be emptied, and Jeeves needs to up his game a little bit. I'm just saying. It's been a long time since you've seen a live. Well, welcome in. We've missed you. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Janelda. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Hi, Carmen, Jody. All right, you guys. So Tracy says it's been a heck of a week where she is, right? It's been a crazy week here too. It's just been non-stop this week. And I was just telling some of my friends that I need everything to stop moving for a second so that I can deal with everything individually. But life is just not like that, right? It feels like every time something comes up, there are 10 more things that pile on right at the same time. Gosh, I just need a minute. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jamie. So, you guys, it's Feel Good Friday, which is our favorite day of the week. At least it is mine. I hope that it is for you guys as well. I love Fridays because it marks the end of the week. It means the weekend is just right around the corner. But it also means that we have easy, instant gratification jewelry that is easy to recreate. It means that there are kits available. Peggy says, where's Q? Why isn't he cleaning up? He's working. So we'll forgive him, right? Yeah, so Fridays are all about the kits. There are kits in the shop. They got listed, they've been listed, but they went live just before I hit the live button, so they should be there. We've got several kits today. I've got a maker mix to show you that is super cool. I really like this color mix. There are 2 pairs of earrings, 2 bracelets, and 2 necklaces. So overall, I've got 6 things for you. The 2 pairs of earrings, those 2 earrings kits are super, super easy. Everything is. That's kind of the goal for Feel Good Friday. So if you've never been part of a Feel Good Friday show before, first and foremost, welcome in. Second of all, our Feel Good Friday shows are just that. It's Feel Good Friday, which means I want you to feel good going into the weekend. I don't want to bombard you or overwhelm you, because life is enough, right? With technique going into the weekend. I want you to go into the weekend inspired to maybe recreate some of the pieces that you see with things that you have in your own stash. But more than that, I want you to be inspired to go over to my Etsy shop, purchase these kits, because everything that you see in the Feel Good Friday show is available for purchase. The kit is ready. I've done all the cutting. I've done all the measuring. I've done all the sorting. I send it to you in the mail. I ship things out on Monday mornings. You get those super quick as long as USPS does their part of the job. And it's a great way to help to support me, because I do give free content. I do have a paid group, but for the most part, these lives, the one that you see on Tuesday and the one that you see on Fridays here, as well as my Michael's classes, are all free. So helping to support me and to let me continue to give you the free content, grabbing a kit now and then is just a great way to be supportive if you're looking to do that. I will never push you ever, ever, ever. But that being said, I want everybody to understand, because I get these questions every single week and the team gets these questions every single week as well. And that is, why do you not tell the measurements? Why do you not tell the bead sizes? Why don't you tell the, you know, the measurements of this, that, and the other? Like, why are you not giving more information? And the reason is because obviously I want you to go buy the kit. All of the measuring, as I have said, is done. It's already ready for you. All you got to do is just go buy the kit. So, I mean, it's sort of like going to a restaurant and asking the chef to tell you all the ingredients, right? I'm not going to do that on Fridays, because Fridays is all about my business. Tuesdays is a little bit different. Tuesday shows, I always give you the measurements, I give you the sizes, I give you all the information that you need to know. But Fridays are just a little bit different. So before you get mad at me for not telling you what size beads I'm using, or how long the piece of chain or leather is, understand that that's the reason why. Okay. All right, so let's get started, shall we? We've got a lot. We've got a lot to deal with. 6 kits is a lot. I normally try to keep it to 5. But I made a bracelet and I was like, you know what? This bracelet really needs a pair of earrings to go with it. So just know that there is like a little set here in today's show. We're going to get started with the maker mix. The maker mix, for those of you who don't know, are little mixes of things that I make in small batches where I don't have enough of something to create an entire kit out of, but I love it enough to share it with you guys. So I put together these little bead mixes and we call those maker mixes. The maker mixes you can purchase from the Etsy shop, just like you can the kits. And then you can create a piece of jewelry using the maker mix. You can mix in your own beads. You can do whatever you want to. Post a picture of it and your name is entered into a drawing to win a shipment of goodies from me. So it's free to post your pictures, right? All you got to do, you got to pay to play. You got to grab a maker mix. You can buy as many as you want to and enter as many times as you want to. But we do that once a month. Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn you around and show you the maker mix, and then we're going to get started with the kits. All right. So you're so welcome, Rachel. All right, so our maker mix this week is Spring Sunset, and this one is so cool. So you guys know I'm not huge on pink unless it's electric pink, like my fingernails, and I'm also not huge on orange. But one of the ways that I love orange is when you mix it with like a cobalt blue. Like that, to me, that color combination is just underused and underrated so much, and I love this mix. So there's a ton of check glass in here. You've got the 2 check glass butterflies. There's a check glass coin bead. This is considered a specialty check glass bead, as are the butterflies. Actually, there are some really beautiful check glass rondelles in here that came from Danielle Wicks. There are beautiful glass beads in this cobalt color. There's one of these rubberized beads that kind of feels like velvet almost. And I honestly wish that I had more of these to put in, because this is probably my favorite bead in the entire mix. But then you've just got some more orange in here in different shades and different kinds of beads, some little crackle beads. There are some fiber optic beads in here, some rondelles, some check glass, some bicones, and then just some little pops of metal to just kind of tie everything together. But this is a super cool mix. Robin says it reminds her of the Denver Broncos. That's not really what I was going for, or the Florida Gators, but you know what? I'll take it, because if you are one or both of those things, this is a great little mix for you. But yeah, it's just a really cool color combo that I feel like is underused. We really should do more cobalt blue and orange in our life. I just think so. All right, so I'm going to set this over to the side and we're going to get started. So I've got 2 necklace projects for you guys. I'm going to start out with those necklace projects because I know that they're going to sell quickly, and I want to be sure that you get shown, you get to see how to put them together before they're gone from the Etsy shop. So I'm going to start out with the antique brass and these really cool flowers, these acrylic flowers. So let me show you. I'm going to lay it out, right? For those of you who are new with Feel Good Friday, I do abbreviated versions of these projects just to save time, because we have so many projects to get through. So I normally have half of it already ready. And so yeah, you won't see start to finish, but you will see the entire project finished at some point. Okay, so We're starting out. I'm going to start over here on the right side of the necklace. I'm going to lay it out for you, and then we're going to build the left side. Okay. So we have these really cool brass components that I got from Danielle Wicks. I'm not entirely sure where she got these from. They're really, really awesome, and they're substantial. Like, these are not super cheap. These are really, really good quality components. These little bar components. You can actually wire wrap on these after you put this necklace together if you wanted to add more detail to this design. But basically what we're doing is we're using these, and we're going to come down here to a focal that we're going to build with some of these acrylic flowers. So we're going to do, let's see here, just try to lay everything out so I can show you where we're going. So we're going to link everything together with some jump rings here. Okay. We're going to do a little rondelle, and then we're going to use some chain. These are going to come down. We're going to put another little flower here, and then we're going to put 3 in our focal, and I'm going to build those for you so you can see exactly how to put the little flowers together. But this is what we're going to bring everything down to. So we've got some beautiful red crystals. We've got some bicones and some rondelles. And I'm just going to show you how to put all of this together. Okay. So this is where we're going. I'm going to show you how to get there. All right, so to build our little flowers, now 2 of them are already ready, but we're going to build the ones that go here in the center, because the 2 that are on either side of the longest one are exactly the same as these 2. Okay, so basically you're going to take a head pin, and again, everything that you need is included in the kit. I'm going to thread on a bicone here. I'm going to thread on a rondelle. And that rondelle is just going to fill up the inside of our flower. So I'm going to thread my flower on, and you can see that that rondelle just kind of fills all that space up so that our bicone can stick out of the bottom of the flower. Okay. Then I'm going to put on top of that a bead cap. So the bead cap is just going to come over. It just adds a little extra texture and dimension to our flower. And then we're going to do a wrapped loop. So I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to grab the wire right where it is exiting the bead, and I'm going to bend it over the top of the pliers, because when we do a wrapped loop, we need room for those wire wraps. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I'm going to take that wire up and over the top barrel of the pliers, rotate, and take the wire over to the other side to close up that loop. And then we just want to do the wire wraps in that space in between the loop that we created and the top of our bead, or in this case, the top of our bead cap, right? So once I've created my loop, I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, and I'm going to trim off the excess. I'm going to trim as close as you can, but if you still need to come in and tuck in an end, I got pretty close with my cut, so I didn't need to, but you can come in there and squeeze that with your pliers, and that will clean that up. So that's going to go on either side of a longer one that we're about to build, but you're going to make 4 of those just like that. Okay. With the bicone, the rondelle, the flower, and the bead cap, you want 4 of those total. Then this one that goes in the middle here is a little bit different. So the one that goes in the middle is going to be on an eye pin, and at the bottom, hanging from our eye pin, we're going to do 3 little head pins with some bicones on them. And those are actually going to hang from the inside of our flower. So there's going to be a little bit extra movement here. So one of them is already done, and you can see there's space between the loop and the top of the bead. I'm going to do that exact thing with the other 2 bicones, and I want them to be at different lengths, right? So let's thread on one. This one can be the longest one. So I'm just going to kind of measure it next to the one that's already made. And I'm going to bend the wire. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a simple loop. So I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, and I'm going to trim off, leaving myself about 1/4 of an inch of wire. And then I'm going to come in and roll back with my pliers to create a loop. Okay. So I've just got a simple loop here. And you can see when it hangs next to that one, they're going to be at different lengths. Now I'm going to do another one. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. I want it to be kind of close to the first one. So I'll just lay it down here. I'm going to hold on with my pliers. Go ahead, bend, and then come in with my cutter, trim off, and we're going to do another simple loop. So I'm just rolling back. All right, so I've got a simple loop here on all three of these. Now let me show you how this goes together, because some of you might be a little bit confused. All right, so I'm going to take an eye pin, and in the kit, it's the longest eye pin that you've got. You have some standard 2-inch ones. This one is a 3-inch, so use the 3-inch for this one. Okay, so I'm going to open up the loop, and I'm going to thread on each one of these little bicones that I just made. And all three of them will fit. Okay. And then I'm going to close the loop back. And so those are going to hang. You can see how those will hang. And then I'm going to thread those, or thread on rather, my flower. So you can see how those are going to hang out the bottom of the flower, right? Then I'm going to take the longest bead cap. This one is kind of like a cone bead cap, and just sit that over the top of my flower. Now to top that off, because this has got a large hole on it, I'm actually going to pop a little bicone in the top of that just so that it holds everything in place and our wrapped loop doesn't wiggle around too much. So I'm just going to place that right there. The bottom of that bicone is going to fit right in the top of that bead cap. And I'm going to do a wrapped loop. Okay. Going up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then wire wrap. Okay, and then you just want to come in with your cutter and trim off. Okay, all right, so this one's going to hang in the middle. It's a little bit longer. So you've got this pretty little focal here in the center. It's all going to come together with our large jump ring here to connect everything. Up here on the ends, I left out the rondelle. So this rondelle was actually supposed to go on the inside of this. So my apologies, I left out a rondelle. When you go to put this together, put that rondelle just like you did with these, okay? I just forgot about it to go in there. You will thread on your little bicones and then thread on your rondelle and then thread on your bead. I thought this rondelle actually went up here. Sorry. But anyway, so this rondelle up here, this is just an additional pop of red up here before we change into the chain. So I'm just going to do a simple loop on this guy as well, thread it onto an eye pin, bend the wire. We're going to trim off, leaving yourself about 1/4 of an inch. And again, just a simple loop. Just roll back to close your loop up. Okay. Now all of this is going to be connected with some jump rings. So we're just going to put that all together right now. So you do the same thing on the left as you do on the right. We're going to take our largest jump ring in the kit. We're going to thread on all of our little flowers. And then before we close that jump ring, we're going to thread on the bar component on one side and then the bar component on another side. And then we're just going to close that back. Okay. So then you're going to put on, whoops, I put that on the wrong way. Hold on. You want to make sure that everything's hanging in the same direction and not twisted on you. So just kind of be mindful of that. Like you want everything hanging the same direction. Okay. So you have your bar component on either side of your focal. Then you're going to do another jump ring. So we're going to do a jump ring here to connect our two bar components. And we're going to thread on another one of our flowers. So jump ring, our flower, and then the next bar, and then close that back. Okay. Then we're going to do a jump ring and a rondelle. So there's our jump ring, our rondelle. And that's exactly the way it is over here on the other side as well. And then you're just going to use 2 jump rings to connect these to some chain. The chain piece I have is one solid piece of chain. You want to cut your chain in half and then, of course, add your clasp to the ends. But you've got a nice long piece of chain, so you can really make this necklace whatever length you want it to be. If you want to shorten it up and then leave some extra for extension chain, if you're going to sell it or give it as a gift, that's always a good idea as well. But I always try to make sure that you've got plenty of chain. This hangs beautifully, so you'll get to see at the end when we put this on the bust just how this all kind of comes together. It looks really, really beautiful laying down, but it looks even better when you've got it actually hanging, so you can see it. I love the combination of the antique brass and the red. There's just something about that that's timeless, and definitely a color combination that you can wear all year, right? This is not specifically for spring or summer or for fall or winter. Like, you can get away with wearing this necklace all year because of that antique brass and red combo. So there you go. There's our first necklace project. Hope you guys like that one. That kit is available in the shop. Now I'm going to show you another necklace project. Okay. So the next necklace project is a really beautiful project as well. And again, it's one where I've done one side of it. Hi, Danielle. I've done one side of it, and I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, so in the center, we start out with this little focal. Yes, it's got some beads hanging from it. I'm gonna show you just to save some time how exactly all of this goes together and what the center of this is going to look like. So building from the top of this, I'm going to just lay out what the right side of this is. So the right side of this is rondelles, 3 rondelles, a jump ring, dangles, 3 rondelles, a jump ring, and some dangles, and that's going to go up into some chain. So we're going to build that, right? Some of it is already done, but the rest of it we're going to do together, and then we're going to build this beautiful focal here. Let me show you. So again, just kind of laying everything out so you can see where we're going with all of this. So another dangle would go here. We'll build a dangle together. We'll build a little section of 3 together. Do a jump ring to come to our chain. Hold on. No, wait. When you see the center, it's all going to kind of make more sense. Okay. So another little dangle goes there. And then here in the center, we're putting in a marquee. And just like all of the little dangles, we're going to build the matching dangle here to go here. So this is the necklace. Okay. When it's completed, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you how to put it all together. One side's already done. We're going to build the focal, and we're going to build this direction. This is an absolutely beautiful necklace, but I don't want you to shy away from this one just because it has this marquee. I really feel like the color of the marquee and the color of the rondelles makes this a wearable piece. So don't look at this and think this is super, super fancy. You totally can get away with wearing this with just like a spring dress or whatever you want to. Don't think this is a piece that you can only wear when you get dressed up. Okay, so just because they're sparkle doesn't mean anything. All right, so we're gonna put our left side together first, right, to match our right side, and then we'll do our focal here in the center. So the side going up over here is, like I said, it's just 2 little beaded chains that we put together with some eye pins. So I've got 3 rondelles here, and we're going to put each one of those on eye pins. And we are going to just create a simple little beaded chain. There are no jump rings between here except to separate the sections of 3. Okay, so putting each one of these onto an eye pin, and we're just going to do simple loops, and then we'll link all of those together. So again, bending the wire where it is exiting the bead, trim off, and then we're going to roll back to close up our loop. I'm going to do that to the others as well. Okay, there's another one. We'll do one more. Now, again, the kits are in the Etsy shop. All you got to do is grab them and then I'll send them to you. You've got all the pieces, everything you need to put this together exactly the way that we've got it here. Okay. So to build our little beaded chain, we come in and we use our pliers to open up one of the loops that we just made. We thread on a loop from one of the others that we made, right? So they have a connection. It doesn't matter which one is the top or the bottom. They're both the same. Open up the next one and thread on another bead. So we've got a little section of 3 little beads. Okay. And we link those together with some jump rings, but we also from each jump ring are going to hang a little combo dangle here, if you will. And these are already put together, but I'm going to build one here just so you can see how to do it. It's not super hard, but they're exactly the same as the ones in the focal, which is just 2 rondelles on an eye pin and then a head pin with a rondelle hanging from it. Let's put all this together and then I'll show you. Okay, so we're going to just link everything with some jump rings. Actually, you know what? Let's not attach it to the focal just yet, but we'll go ahead and make the side. So I'm going to open a jump ring. I'm going to thread on my section of chain here. I'm going to close that back for now. Whoops. I'm going to open another jump ring to go on the other side of that. Okay. And then before I close that jump ring, I want to thread on one of the little dangles that we're going to build together here in just a second so that that hangs down between. And then I'm going to thread on the other section of my little beaded chain and close that back. So when this is hanging, that dangle is going to hang between them. And then the same thing up here. So you're going to have another jump ring. This is our jump ring that's going to attach to our chain, like our actual silver chain here. So that's open, thread on the dangle, and then thread on the link of your chain and close that back. Okay. So when this is all laid out, it's going to look like that. Okay. We're going to focus on this center piece here, and then we'll just connect it here in the center. Okay. So our focal component has a single loop here where our 2 strands are going to connect, but then we have these 3 loops here at the bottom. So we're going to do a dangle just like this one on this side, and our marquee bead is going to go in the center. Let's do the marquee bead first. You're going to take the piece of wire that's included in your kit, and you're going to thread that marquee on to that wire. And because it's drilled across the top, we have to wire wrap this like a briolette. So we are going to take the wire on one side and we want to bend it along the path, that curve of the bead at the top. And we want to do the same thing with the other one. I tend to make one of mine a short one and one of mine a long one, just so that I have plenty of wire to wire wrap with. So I'm going to take the longest one and I'm going to bend it straight up and down, and the short one, I'm going to bend out this direction. Okay. I'm going to take the short wire and I'm going to wrap around the long wire about 3 times. And I'm going to hold on to that with my bent chain nose pliers. Hold on. Just to hold it all together. Okay. So about 3 wire wraps for that. Then I'm going to come in and trim off whatever's left with the wire. Okay. Now I'm going to wire wrap the rest of this to the component. So I'm going to do another wrapped loop, and I'm just going to treat those wire wraps just like I would if they were beads. In other words, I'm placing my pliers right up against those wire wraps, bend the wire. Okay, so I still have some space, right, for extra wire wraps in there. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers to start my loop. So I'm going to go up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. Now, before I finish those wire wraps, I'm going to attach this to my components. I'm going to take the tail end of that wire, stick it through that center loop on the component, and just snap those 2 together. And then we're going to wire wrap. So again, holding on with my bent chain nose pliers, just try to keep everything out of the way. And then these wire wraps just want to meet up with the wire wraps that you already created. try to get it as seamless as you can, right? And then you're going to come back here to the back and trim off the excess. So that marquee is going to hang right in the center. It's sitting at a little bit of an angle. Okay. Straighten up its loop. Just all the little things all cleaned up. Okay. Then we're just going to do a little dangle, just like all the rest of these dangles. Okay. So we're going to start with the bottom bead is going to go onto a head pin, and we're just going to do a wrapped loop. Okay. So up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and we're going to wire wrap. Okay. Cut off the excess wire. Then you want to open an eye pin. Okay. All of these things, again, all of this is included in your kit, so you don't have to use any of this stuff from your own stash. Okay, we're going to thread that on. We're going to close that back. We're going to drop 2 rondelles down on top, and we're going to wire wrap those directly to our component, and they'll sit just like that next to that marquee. Okay, so wrapped loop here. Up and over. Rotate and take the wire over to the other side. And before we do the wire wraps, attach it to your component by taking that wire, threading it through the loop, bring the two together. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are loving this one. I have a feeling this one will sell out of the shop pretty quickly. So don't sleep on this one. If you're interested in it, I would go ahead and grab it. All right. Trim off the excess. And the other, like I said, the other dangles are exactly that. It's just a bead, a rondelle on the head pin, and then the 2 rondelles over the top of that. So then everything is just going to come together with the 2 jump rings that are on either side of our chain here. So I am going to open up the jump ring. I'm going to thread it onto that top ring for that side, and then I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Take that jump ring, whoops, find the opening of it first, just kind of twist it around here, just like that, and thread that one on as well. Whoops, didn't quite open that up enough. And again, you just want to be sure that everything's hanging all on the same side, so that when you put this on the bust or when you put this on to wear it, that everything, you don't have to constantly flip over, you know, some of the dangles. Everything should be kind of hanging on the same side. Right. And there you go. You've got a really, really pretty necklace that you can dress it up. You can dress it down. Don't shy away from that sparkle. Okay. I'm just making a big fat mess of it out of it on this bead mat, but I promise you on the bust, this looks so pretty. It's a really, really beautiful necklace, but not so sparkly that you can't get away with wearing it every day if you want to. So all right. Oh no, Amber says, I think both necklaces have sold out. Yeah, if you can't find them, they're sold out, because they were there. They were there. But don't worry, you guys. I've got not this exact, but I do have another necklace like this planned for next week. So if you missed out on this one, don't worry. I've got some more things that are very, very similar to this, because I had a feeling this one would sell out pretty quickly. All right, I'm going to move on. Okay, those were the 2 necklaces. Let's move on. We've got 2 bracelets in the show today, and one of the bracelets has a little pair of earrings that goes with it as well. So I'm going to start with it. This is a 2-strand, 2-to-1, if you will, bracelet. And this one has some beautiful Druck beads that came from our dear friend, Danielle Wicks. Everybody give Danielle some love, and be sure you go over to her Etsy shop and check her out, because she's just all types of awesome. So we make a beaded chain. We've got 3 more beads to add to this. We'll do that together. Okay. So a beaded chain. And then the bottom of that, or the top of that, depending, is going to be a strand of chain. Okay, so the 2 strands are going to come together with this little component that is a 2-to-1. So those will meet up at our 2-to-1. Whoops, this direction. Okay, we have these gorgeous check glass table cut beads, these flowers. So 2 flowers will come from that. Okay, so we go 2 down to 1, and then that's going to connect with our awesome clasp. And then on the other end, our connection point here is a decorative ring with a little charm on it. Okay, so this is the entire bracelet. It all goes together with some jump rings, some eye pins to, of course, build our 2 little chain pieces. But this is where we're going. Okay, now I want to show you before I start putting this together that there's a second kit of a pair of matching earrings, and they're super, super simple to put together. It's just 2 of those beautiful drucks and 1 of those table cut beads. So if you want the earrings, just so you know, because I might not get to the earrings just yet, I just want you to know that like there's another kit that goes with this. So if you want the whole set, you got it. Okay. All right, let's put the bracelet together. So we're going to take our beads, and you can see it's just a beaded chain here where there are no jump rings in between. So we're just using eye pins, kind of like we did in the necklace that we just did. Okay, so each one of these beads will go onto an eye pin. Heather, you should give it a try. I think you would be surprised. I think you would be surprised. It's not nearly as hard as I think people think it is. And you just start with one little skill and you build from there. You'd be surprised at what you could do. All right, so we're going to do simple loops on these, bending the wire right where you are, where that wire is exiting the bead. Come in, trim off, leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch of wire, and then you want to come in with your round nose pliers to create your loop. Okay, and again, just repeat that with all of the drucks in your bracelet kit. Okay, so there's another one. All right, so now what we want to do is we just want to link all those together. And we do that the same way that we did with the other one. So, you know, you start at the beginning, you open up one of the loops. We're not starting at the beginning here, but thread on the next bead in the chain, close that one back, move up to the next simple loop, open it, thread on the next bead, close it back, move up to the next, open, thread on the next loop, close it back. Okay, and you want to do that until you have all of your drucks all connected. They're going to be about the same length as your chain here. Okay, so we're going to use some jump rings to connect all of this together. So we're going to connect the end of our beaded chain to one of the loops on our 2 to 1 component. Close that back. We want to do the same thing with our chain. So we're going to open up another jump ring, thread that onto the bottom loop of our 2 to 1 component, thread on the last link of one end of our chain. Okay, so there's the double strands. We want to attach these to our decorative ring, and we're just going to do that with more jump rings. Lots of jump rings here in this project. Okay, so jump ring, whoops, attached to the bottom link of chain, and then attached to our decorative ring. Okay, and then the same thing with the beaded chain. So jump ring, decorative ring, beaded chain. Just want to make sure that you don't get those twisted. Okay, and then just for extra, you know, fun, I added this really beautiful charm. Again, it's a charm that I got from Danielle Wicks. And we're just going to attach that with a jump ring. So we'll thread that on and attach that. Now the other side of this bracelet is just as simple. Okay, so you would take your 2 check glass flowers and you're just going to do simple loops on those, just like we did with the drucks. Okay, and then you just want to connect those with jump rings as well. Okay, and if you need to shorten your bracelet up, you can remove some of these jump rings. If you need to make your bracelet a little bit longer, add some more jump rings to this. That's a great way to adjust the size. So here's a jump ring on the one side of our 2-to-1. Add a flower, close that back. Okay, we're going to do another jump ring. Attach that to our flower. Our next flower. So you can see the difference here is that these beads have a jump ring between them, whereas these don't. But again, if you need to make it shorter, take the jump rings out. You don't have to have those. Okay, there's our last jump ring to connect our last flower bead with our decorative clasp. Okay, and then to put all of this together, your decorative clasp just attaches to this decorative ring, and you've got this really, really beautiful asymmetrical design. So you've got the double strand with the beads and the chain, and then you've got your flowers here. You've got your cool little components. Like, this has got a lot going on, but it's super, super cool and very trendy. This 2-to-1 is never going to go out of style. You'll see it a million different ways with a million different beads. It's just one of those classic kind of beaded styles that never ever seems to go away. And then if you want to do the matching the matching earrings with this, we'll put those together really, really quickly because these are super easy. So you would just take one of the flowers. Again, this is a separate kit, but you can grab them both. So we're just going to take our flower and thread that on and do a wrapped loop. Up and over, rotate. Take the wire over to the other side. Okay, so there's our wrapped loop. All right, then the rest of this is just 2 drucks on eye pins. Super, super easy. Okay, so I usually open my eye pin and attach it first before I thread my bead on. I just find that it's easier to open that eye pin ring without there being a bead there already. All right, so just a simple loop on this one. Oh, whoops, which I didn't even set up correctly. I bend the wire right where it is exiting the bead. Okay. Yeah, this blue is one of my absolute favorites. It's such a great summertime blue. Has, you know, it qualifies as Bermuda blue. And every time I hear Bermuda, I think of summertime and beach and the ocean and vacation. And so this is that Bermuda blue that goes with that summertime feeling. You know, if you're not into reds and oranges and yellows, this is a great alternative to that for summertime color. So just another simple loop. And then last thing to do is just add your ear wire to it. So these are super, super little earrings. If you want to get the whole set, you can, or you can just buy them individually. You don't have to. But I thought that since I had extra of the druck beads and the flowers, how cute it would be to be able to offer you both, you know, so you could have the little set if you wanted to, you know, as a little gift to yourself or somebody else, maybe. I mean, I'm all about giving a gift to myself. So. So there you go. There's the bracelet and the earrings. Now I've got one more bracelet to show you and one more pair of earrings. They do not go together, but who am I to stop you from wearing them together? These do go together. Okay. I'm going to sit these to the side. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to save my last pair of earrings for the end. We're going to put together this bracelet. So again, I've got beach and summertime jewelry on the brain. So you're going to start seeing some more ocean, beachy inspired things for the upcoming kits. Okay. So if you've been looking forward to that, I've got you covered. So this is really just an easy little bracelet to put together that has some bling, but also has some specialty check in it. So the specialty check beads are these really cool shell beads. I got all of these from Danielle, and I've got these in a lot of colors, but I loved this kind of turquoisey. It's like a soft turquoise mixed with these cubes. It just adds this crazy texture that is very, very different. So that's the length of the entire bracelet is that. So the shell beads are going to go on eye pins. Okay. And we're going to link those together with some jump rings. And on each one of the jump rings is going to be one of these cubes that we're going to wire wrap. And then that's going to all come together and meet up to this really cool little chain piece. It's a 3-link chain piece where we're going to take one of these awesome patina seahorses. That's going to hang from the center. Okay. And then 2 more little cubes are going to bring that together. We've got our little hook clasp that is also that brass patina. So it matches our seahorse. All this is going to come together. So let's put this together so you can see how it all works. Okay. So we're just going to do our chain here, and we're going to together our eye pins. So I'm going to take each one of my little shell check glass beads. Okay. And I'm just going to do a simple loop. Since it's on an eye pin, it gets a simple loop on the other side. Okay. So just simple loops. It's how we do on our Feel Good Friday shows. We're not doing anything crazy. We do a lot of simple loops and a lot of wrapped loops and just connecting things with jump rings, because beautiful jewelry does not have to be super complicated and complex. It doesn't have to be a representation of every skill you've ever learned, right? You can still just take the very simplest basic techniques and make absolutely gorgeous things out of it. So we've got loops on either end of those. And again, we're going to connect those with jump rings. And on each one of our jump rings, we're going to add our cube that has a wrapped loop on it. So I'll put one of these up here. We'll switch these out. Let's do one together. We are going to have to do another one together up here too. But so we're just threading one of these awesome cubes onto a head pin, and we're going to do a wrapped loop. The wrapped loop here, instead of a simple loop, just gives a little bit of extra length between the jump ring and the bead. That's why I chose a wrapped loop here, because we got just that tiny, tiny little bit of space. Makes a big difference. All right. So up and over. And then okay. So I'm going to trim off. Okay, so what would go between these would just be these 2 little jump rings. Okay, and that's how you would link together the entire bracelet. So jump ring onto the last bead that you were working on before you close that jump ring, thread on one of your cubes, and then thread on the next bead. Go ahead and close that. Okay, same thing, jump ring. So we're going to put that on, cube, and the next bead. Okay. Now we want to actually take this loop right here that's on the last bead, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to thread our chain, end of our chain onto that, and close that back. Okay, so that's connected to the end of our beaded chain. Okay, so we have all that coming up to our chain here. And since this one is already done, I'm actually going to open up this chain link right here. It takes a little extra strength to do that. And I'm going to thread on our bead. Well, that loop on our bead is a little snug for this. It'll work. Was that back? Okay, so we've got a cube. That way it's still evenly spaced, even though we've transitioned into something else. Okay, and then we're going to take a jump ring, the largest jump ring that you've got in your kit. You want to open it up. It's nice and thick to add our seahorse to, and then we're going to put that in that center link of the little chain piece. Okay, this is a cool bracelet. I'll show you here in a second what makes this kind of different. And we're going to do another cube to hang on this link. And I'll wire wrap it directly to it instead of opening up that link. Okay, so up and over. I'm going to open that just slightly and thread that onto this link of chain. Just kind of wiggle those together. And again, hold with the bent chain nose pliers. Y'all, Nicole posts the links to all of the kits, so you don't have to go look for them. If you'll just watch Nicole in the comments, she'll post a link directly to the one that we're working on. That way you don't have to go dig over in the Etsy shop unless you just want to, right? All right, so that's the length of the necklace. The only thing to do really is to add our clasp. And the way the clasp is going to go, we want that clasp to hook onto that little piece of, or the last link of our chain piece. It's got a loop here. Over here on the other side of our bracelet is our last link here. It's got a cube on it. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to thread it just like that. Now, here's the way the bracelet works. So you can wear, or you can look at it. Ultimately, when it's on your wrist, it's going to hang however it wants to. But you can look at it however you want. You can look at it, even though the clasp is here, you can say, well, this is the center of the bracelet, right? And the clasp is here in the front. Or you can wear it so that the beads are the front and this is the back. And this is just a charm. And like I said, it's going to spin around and do whatever it wants to on your wrist. But for those of you who are like to know what's the front and the back, like that's kind of, you know, like this section can be the front or this section can be the front. It's totally up to you. So if you were going to take a picture of this to send to somebody, or you're going to make it and you were going to sell it or whatever, you got to ultimately make that decision and then display it that way. But when you wear it, it's going to do whatever it wants to. But still pretty cool because it's versatile, you know, and you can always change it up. If you don't want the clasp here and you want this to be the center, just connect this bead here and put the clasp up here between some of these beads. You've got 6 of them. So this clasp technically could go right here and have a true back to your bracelet, right? So there you go. That is our second and final bracelet kit of the show. I've got one more pair of earrings to show you guys, and then I'm going to let you go. Okay. So let's move right on into those. These are super cool. So we've got some more of this gorgeous patina that I got from Danielle, and I cannot get enough of it. And these awesome butterflies came from Sam. So a little bit of everybody here. So we've got 2 patina pieces here, and antique brass is bringing it all together. This beautiful check glass butterfly is our connection point. So it kind of looks like, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of denim. You know, it's like, it's beady blue jeans, I guess. I don't really know. But we're going to put this together super, super easy. So all we have to do really is just wire wrap our butterfly and then connect everything together. So we're going to take our butterfly and we're going to put it onto an eye pin. And we are going to do a wrapped loop at the top, and we're going to wrap that. We're going to do the wire wrapping directly to our little component here. So I'm going to grab the wire right where it is exiting our butterfly and give it a bend. We're going to come in with our round nose pliers and go up and over. Rotate the wire and take the wire over to the other side. Now you got to be a little careful because the butterfly he's a tricky little shape. You're kind of fighting against the tips of his wings, but it's not hard by any means. It's just a little different. So I'm going to open that up and I'm going to thread that onto our loop, our little decorative ring here, and just snap those 2 together. And then I'm going to wire wrap. And again, you just want to be careful. That butterfly, get in there, do those wire wraps, kind of spin your butterfly around as you're wrapping, if that helps. Just kind of move him along with your pliers. Okay. And I'm just trying to be mindful, right? I'm trying not to hit the butterfly with my pliers too much. Okay, and I used up every bit of that wire, so there's nothing to trim off. Okay, so that's what we've got. And then we're just going to take a little jump ring because this little component is a little wide. So I couldn't just open the ring here and connect it. So I needed a little jump ring to be our go-between. And so I'm just going to open that up thread on, and then thread that onto our butterfly. Close that back. And then the only thing left to do is just add our ear wire. So simple, simple, but just so pretty. I mean, they really are pretty. That AB that is going on those butterflies, it's just so pretty. It's just enough sparkle, you know, it's just enough sparkle to balance with this amazing patina on the little components. It just adds such a different, it's just a different take on patina, because I feel like a lot of times with patina we tend to go with like boho and like matte colored things, but there's no reason why you can't add a little sparkle to your patina, you know. I mean, it doesn't always have to be subdued. You can definitely make this a little crazy, and if you wanted to, you could even add some like sparkly crystal bicones up here, like maybe a bicone on either side of the butterfly or whatever. So you can always add to this once you get the kit home, you know, you can really make it your own, but I think those are so pretty. All right, so that's it for our kits. I'm going to turn you guys around and we're going to like take a last kind of look at these. You're going to get to see the necklaces on the bust. I'll hold the earrings up and everything. So let's do that. I'm going to turn you around. All right. So very quickly, phone is blowing up, y'all. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. So I'll show you the red necklace. Now I know it's probably, I don't know if it's sold out or not. I think somebody said it was. But for those of you who did get it, you can see, and for those of you who didn't, the ones that are always super popular, I always try to restock if I can. It might not be red. It might be a different color, but I'll do the best that I can because this is a great necklace. So beautiful, beautiful flowers. And again, this is one of those necklaces that you can wear like all year. This is not seasonally specific. You know, it's just a beautiful piece. That red and antique brass, like you can get away with wearing that all year. Like even in the winter time, that red is appropriate, you know? So that's that one. The other necklace that we did is also absolutely gorgeous. This is probably my favorite thing in the entire show today. Hold on to it. Is this gorgeous piece right here. So it's got a lot going on, right? It's got a lot going on, but just so pretty. And again, don't shy away from the sparkle, because I like sometimes I feel like I do sparkle in the shop and offer it as a kit, and some people don't buy the sparkle because they're like, I would never have the opportunity to wear that. But let me be the one to tell you that my sparkliest jewelry in the entire world I wear and sit on my couch. Like I'm not you know what I mean? Don't shy away from that sparkle. If you love it, then you wear it. Just wear it to the grocery store. Nobody cares. It makes you feel good. That's a really beautiful necklace. And again, I've got more of this style. Nicole says the blue necklace is sold out. Will you be able to get more? I don't know for sure. I definitely can try. I have more of the rondelles, but it's that flower component in the center that I would have to reorder. It's possible, y'all. It's possible. I mean, never say never. All right. The other kit that we did was our double strand bracelet, which I know you can't really see from this angle, but sometimes it does help to kind of see in comparison to hand what everything looks like. I can tell you that they are 8mm beads all day long, but that doesn't mean anything until you actually see it up against skin. So you can be like, oh, okay, that's the right size. That's something I would wear. So you've got our little 2-to-1 bracelet with our drucks and our check glass beads, and then the really simple earrings to go with it, which was just 2 of those beautiful druck beads with the check glass flower. Just really simple, but so pretty. And you can get away with wearing these, you know, with whatever you want to as well. It's not so sparkly that you feel like you got to be going out somewhere special. And if it's too long for you, take one of these off, you know, and just do 1 druck in the flower and make another set of earrings with just the drucks. So you can change them out if you want to. The other bracelet was our beachy themed with our, I kind of love this bracelet. I just kind of do. With our Patina Seahorse and our combo with the shells and the crystals, there is something about the combination of the shells and the crystals that just really, I'm here for it. I really, really am. Like, I think this is such a fun, different take on beachy jewelry and charms and dangles. That's what it is. That's what it is. I don't know. I just thought it was beautiful. And then last but not least, of course, is our really awesome patina and butterfly earrings. And you can see as far as like how long they are, they're not super, super long. You can shorten them up if you need to. And as always with earrings, you can always take an earring and turn it into a pendant. You don't have to do an earring with it if it's too long, but you still love the look. And when it comes to that, you can have two. So you can have one for yourself and one to give, one to sell, whichever. Or you can just make a totally different piece out of it. So those are always possibilities, because sometimes I tend to make earrings that are on the bigger side or on the longer side, but there's always ways to make it work for you if it's too long, right? So there you go, my friends. Glamour Seahorse. I love it, Jessica. I love it. I'm a glamour seahorse. I'm not a seahorse. I'm definitely not a mermaid either, but I do love both of those things. I'm not an ocean person in the least, which is funny because I absolutely adore summertime beachy themed jewelry. But you won't find me on a beach. You just won't. You won't. It's too hot and too sandy for me. But the jewelry, I'll wear that all day, every day. All right, don't forget about the maker mix as well. That really awesome orange and cobalt blue mix is a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you guys make with it if you get it. Don't forget to post your pictures so you can get entered to win for a pack of goodies coming your way. So there's that. And that brings us to the end of another Feel Good Friday show. I hope you guys have enjoyed all of these kits. Thank you so much for everybody who makes a purchase in my Etsy shop. And please go over to Danielle Wick's Etsy shop as well. Like, give her some love, give her some support, because she literally makes this happen for me. If it weren't for her and Sam, I would not have the materials that I have to put these kits together for you. So it's really important to me that not only do you support me, but you support my two beady, wonderful friends as well. So give them love and support just the same as you would me. Okay. You guys have an amazing rest of the weekend. Not my live wires. That's all of you guys. My hardwired group will be getting together at 4 p.m. So get ready. We're going to be talking about the Dyatlov Pass mystery, and we're going to be working on our freestyle piece that we've been wire wrapping. So get ready for it. All right. I'll see you guys then. The rest of you guys, I will see you next week on Tuesday with another fun project. Have a great weekend. I love you guys so, so much. Okay.